The pervasive influence and power of these iron-disciplined intelligence agencies fell into the hands of mere politicians, especially those beyond our control. We do not allow intelligence agencies to pursue the national interest, the way the public conceives spies to operate. Politicians cannot be permitted to divert the power and influence of our intelligence community from the esoteric requirements of our money power to petty political struggles. Neither nationalistic aspirations of races and peoples nor ideological visions of intellectuals for humanity can be allowed to pervert intelligence and covert operations. Our rationalizations, both within the intelligence community and to the public at large, must be diverse and flexible, but the intelligence community must further without exception the inexorable goals we have set for humanity. No crisis is more serious for our money power than an attempt by a head of government to assume personal control of intelligence and operations, or to bypass existing agencies by setting up parallel ones. Such intrusions must be met decisively, although a contrived scandal to remove the offending politician from office is the first line of defense. We dare not shrink from assassination when necessary. Perhaps the most accurate overview of our intelligence community can be achieved by visualizing it as a nationalized secret society. Our predecessors, in their struggle against the old order of kings and princes, had to finance secret societies such as the Illuminati, Masons, German Union, etc. out of their own pockets. At great expense and risk, such secret societies were able to infiltrate the major governmental and private institutions of the nations that our noble predecessors targeted for takeover by the money power. Such bureaucratic takeovers are expensive and time-consuming. They can be considered complete only when promotions, raises, and advancements are no longer based on objective service to the stated organizational objectives, but are in the hands of the infiltrating group and its secret goals. How much easier it is for us, the inheritors of a fully developed state capitalist system. By appealing to national security we are able to finance and erupt secret societies of a colossal scope, far beyond the wildest dreams of our path-breaking predecessors. Besides the benefits of public financing reaped by these nationalized secret societies, we obtain a decisive advantage from the fact that these our spook operations are sanctioned by law. Maintaining discipline, loyalty, and secrecy is no longer solely a matter of propaganda, blackmail, patronage, and intimidation. Although these remain important tools, especially in emergency cases, ordinary discipline among initiates now called agents can be encouraged by appealing to patriotism and can be enforced in courts of law by prosecuting national security violations. As massive as our intelligence community has become in itself, we still operate strictly on the finance capitalist principle of leverage. Just as a rational finance capitalist never owns more stock in a corporation than the bare minimum required for control, intelligence operatives are placed only in as many key positions as are required to control the target organizations. Our goal, after all, is agent control of all significant organizations, not intelligence community membership for the entire population. The organizational pattern of baffling circles within circles, characteristic of classical secret societies, is retained and refined by our intelligence community. That one hand not know what the other is doing is essential to the success of our operations. In most cases, we do not allow the operatives themselves to know the ultimate, and when possible, even the short-range objectives of their assignments. They operate under covers that disguise our goals not only from the public and target groups, but from the agents themselves. For instance, Many agents operating under left cover are led to believe that the agency, or at least their department, is secretly, but sincerely, motivated by socialistic ideology. Thus, they assume that the intelligence agency's ultimate goal is to guide left-wing groups in productive directions, even though they cannot always see how their own assignment fits into those assumed goals. Other left cover agents, those with right-wing predilections, are encouraged to believe the agency is simply monitoring violence-prone, subversive groups in order to protect the public. When such agents are asked to participate in or even lead radical activity, they assume that the ultimate objective is to fully infiltrate and destroy the organization for the good of the country. This is very seldom the case. We waste little or no money protecting the public or defending the nation. Agents operating under right cover are handled in symmetrical fashion. Agents with right-wing prejudices are encouraged to believe the agency is right-wing. Left prejudiced agents are asked to operate under right cover in order to monitor dangerous rightist organizations. Most intelligence agents remain blithely ignorant of the big picture, which is so clear to us from our spectacular vantage point. Very few have enough information or intelligence to reason out how their specific and sometimes baffling assignments promote the legislative, judicial, operational and propaganda needs of our money-powered. Most would never try. They are paid too much to think about such things. Agents with a gangster cover are of two types. First, there is the sincere gangster that draws his salary from an intelligence agency. He be led to believe that the gangland godfathers control the government agency for their own purposes. Actually, the situation is the opposite. The agency controls a gangster for other purposes. Second, is the sincere crime fighter who is led to believe that the agency is attempting to infiltrate and monitor the gangsters as a preliminary step to destroying organized crime. Such upstanding agents commit many crimes in their zeal to rid the country of organized crime. To envision how we operate in this lucrative field, let's briefly look at the mechanics of dope smuggling. Police and customs officials are told to leave certain gangsters alone, even when transporting suspicious cargoes. This is made to seem perfectly proper since it is well known that secret police infiltrators of organized crime must participate in crimes in order to gain the confidence of gangsters. What customs agent would want to upset a carefully laid plan to set up the underworld kingpins of dope pushing? But the agent, as well as the police who cooperate, are mistaken in believing that the purpose of the assignment to help smuggle dope is ultimately to smash organized crime. If he could see the big picture, as we can, the agent would see that practically all our dope is smuggled by federal intelligence agents and secret police. However could such a volume be transported safely? Racial harassment and prosecution is reserved for those who enter the field without our approval. Here is our organized crime strategy. On the one hand, we pass laws to ensure that mankind's favorite pastimes, vices, are illegal. On the other hand, we cater to these vices at a huge monopoly profit with complete immunity from prosecution. A new and growing methodology of our intelligence community is psycho and drug-controlled agents. Properly, these are referred to as behavior modified agents, or, in the vernacular, zombies. With the use of hypnotic drugs, brainwashing, sensory deprivation, small group sensitivity training, and other behavior modification techniques, the scope of which was hinted in the movie Clockwork Orange. Complete personalities can be manufactured from scratch, to the specifications of value structure profiles we design by computer to suit our purposes. Such personalities are quite neurotic and unstable due to defects in our still developing technology, but still useful for many purposes. The primary virtue of zombies, of course, is loyalty. Agents that are subconsciously programmed for the assignment at hand cannot be conscious traitors. All a zombie can do is reveal how compulsive and psychotic he is with regard to his cause. Even to trained psychologists he simply appears to be the proverbial lone nut. Although the zombie may have memories of psychotherapy at a government agency when questioned under hypnosis, this is unlikely to raise suspicion in the mind of a court-appointed psychologist. After all, lone nuts should be kept in insane asylums and subjected to psychotherapy. At most, the government hospital will be reprimanded for letting a loony loose before he was cured. Until our techniques can be perfected, the use of zombies must be restricted to national dramas designed to justify the growing power of our centralized governments over the lives of our people. Most suicidal radicals and crazies who so mysteriously avoid rest for years at a